Mike Cuddy, and I have another one of my projects that I'm talking to you about. And this one is basically a project that looks at world information. And it uses, of course, Python and the Pandas library to basically do this. And what I mean about world information, I have this massive Kaggle file here that has all this different information, like the Human Development Index, Gini coefficient. I mean, this thing goes on forever and ever. And I'm not actually looking at all the data in this file. I only picked out some stuff that I was personally interested to me. It was about 7 items that I looked at, and I'll show that as when I demonstrate the program. So yes, I basically took this data and I made this program that allows you to look at it. And what it does is it has an SVG map that'll come up and basically show you color coding of what everything looks like. And again, that'll be more explained as I use this program. But first of all, I'll talk about the overall structure of this program. Of course, I start out with my main function right here, and that gets called right down here, and that runs the whole program. Then from there, it goes to the main menu, and then from that main menu, we move into the options of what you want to look at. And here's where I can kind of show what I decided to look at is suicide rates, homicide rates, internet usage, mean years of schooling, prison population, which is actually quite interesting, and I'll be showing that one when I demonstrate the program. And then public expenditure on education and TB infections. And that the user basically chooses what they want to look at. And when they do that, it basically goes over to this class, and I have an object with this that's created from this class, and it has this one method that's actually really long and quite ridiculous. I could have broken this up, I guess, but I made it really long. But this method basically is what's going to display the map, and it goes through and chooses everything. And if I go through kind of almost just at a quick overview, I have a list where I'm pulling the data that I want to look at in the states, and I put those into a list. And that's where I'm getting the information. I'm putting them into a list and everything like that. And then I have to take that state list and I have to break the country names, like Norway, the United States, up into its 2-digit abbreviation, or 2-letter abbreviation, I mean, not digit, which would be like United States to US. And that's what this does. And this actually calls, is another method, and it's an object that's created from my support class over here. And it's this right here. And this is actually the only method I got from essentially Stack Overflow, as I write over in this file. So, and then once that's all done, I have to go through and essentially divide up all the data. So I have to find the max of the data and the mean. Then I find the length, taking the max value minus the minimum value. And then I have it broken up into 5 different parts. So data 1, data 2, data 3, data 4, data 5. And they go into dictionaries. And those dictionaries will basically be used on displaying the data in specific ways. And that's what all this this for loop does right here. And then finally down here, by taking that information, it'll be displayed in an SVG map. And all this will make a lot more sense when I demonstrate it. And I know that's a pretty bad explanation there, but I have it well documented, everything that I'm going on here. And if one wanted to really get into details, they could just basically hit me up and ask. And I have to say that this part of the code right here, I'm working on another project at Gwinnett Tech with 2 other students and one of the former professor there. And some of the code I had to write for that project was identical to this. So I saw that it was the same pattern, and I basically took it and used it in my project. So that's basically that right there. And now I think it's time to basically demonstrate it. But before I do that, I just want to quickly show that I have this support class. I briefly mentioned it earlier, and this just has like a help method that talks about the program, and a quit method. And of course, this country name convert thing here, it takes a country name and converts it to its 2-letter abbreviation. So now let's check out this program, start to run it. See, here's a welcome screen. I hate how I like to have it centered, or on the left, but I go back and forth how I want it. So it's something I play with constantly until I get this GUI really, this using the terminal really well worked out. And maybe one day I'll move up into GUIs. So then it has the options here and use program. And then I said we're going to look at the prison population, so we just click 7. And now this is the one part of the program I don't like. I didn't really spend the time to actually look at how to make an SVG map automatically pop up on the screen. So what you have to actually do is manually go into the folder, and as you see, it kind of popped up down here. And I tell him that's what that message said is, hey, you have to look into the folder, open it up. So I go here, open with Chrome, and it kind of creates a web page for you. And here's a map of prison population data around the world. And you see the US is at 716. I mean, even a country like China is at 121. We are by far the only country in the world that's in this range at all. And it's quite fascinating. I mean, talk about the prison industrial complex working here. I mean, Brazil is at 274. Our prison, it's way almost out of control. There's obviously no data on Russia that I have from the file that I chose. So, but still, you would almost think that China would have a way higher issue, but no, it's not. It's the United States. Canada is at 118, our neighbor to the north, and Mexico is at 210. I mean, we're almost 500 points above Mexico. So that's quite interesting. But this is what this project does, and that's how, like I said, I had my 5 dictionaries, and they're broken up into different ranges based off all my code that I wrote in my data class. So that's what I was trying to explain earlier that I think I did a pretty poor job of. And then if you come over here, if I do 4, it'll tell you that's not a valid choice, so let's just quit out of the program, press it into quit, and then program's over. And that's basically everything right there. And like I said, the one thing I don't like is how you have to actually go into your and open up this file. I should have figured out actually taking the time to research on how to actually just have it pop open. So I think that's almost everything for this program, and I look forward to the next one, which is probably going to be another Angular 2 project, which will maybe up by Sunday, uh, by around maybe March 12th or a little bit maybe March 15th. So we'll see. Have a great day.